to spend some time exploring who you are, what makes you happy, what drives you, and really try to design a business around that.
Hey guys, welcome to the Your Wealthy Journey show. It's where we interview amazing people every week. We want to learn from their journey, their success journey, and where they're going. Today we have Brianna Zajicek. Hi Brianna, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay, great. And Brianna, who is Brianna? Okay, Brianna helps people discover their passion and purpose, designing their dream life and business in a year. She went through some negative moments in life, but she decided to put those negative moments aside and to follow her dreams in life. And she made that shift to focus her energy on her dream life. And now she's helping other people achieving massive next level success as she also is journey along the way.
Yes, thank you for the intro. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So Brianna will get to work right now, and our first question is, what does wealth means to you?
So wealth to me can mean different things. When I first kind of started thinking about wealth, of course we have the financial connotations that we have with it, but I think wealth goes beyond just finances. And when I think of, you can have a wealth of knowledge, you can be wealthy. And really, I think it's having an abundance. So getting to a point in your life where you have more than what you need.
Okay, that's it. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a bit more about yourself. What's your business about? What do you do?
Sure. So again, my name's Brianna Zajicek, and my business is the 1-year project. My goal is to help people figure out who they are, what they want, and how to achieve it. And so I really help people to connect with what really makes them happy, what truly makes them fulfilled, and then design a life plan, a 12-month daily action guide that they can take to really live the life of their dreams and become their dream self.
Okay, and how did this idea come about to start this business?
So my whole life, I've kind of gone through a very long journey to wealth. I grew up very impoverished. I had a lot of challenges, kind of trying to establish myself. I didn't graduate college the first time around. And then I always knew somewhere deep inside me that I was meant for more, but I didn't know how to become that more. And I always knew I would be wealthy, but I didn't really know how I was going to get there because I didn't really have the family or the finances that most people have who accomplish big things. So I really, took small changes in a short amount of time frame that would make massive results. So kind of starting very young, around the age of 21 or a little bit younger, I was able to go from being a server at a restaurant to making 6 figures in less than a year's time. And then a year later from that, I went from kind of earning 6 figures to owning $1 million business. So I was very good at figuring out what I wanted as my end goal and then kind of reverse engineering that, especially when it came to finances and wealth. And then I kind of went down this path where I, kept building companies. I went to get my PhD, and I realized at some point that I was waking up every day and not enjoying what I was doing, and that something was wrong. And so I had been researching kind of the science of success, the science of happiness and fulfillment, and looking at the correlation between, are you born a natural entrepreneur or can you become one? And what does it look like as you adopt a new mindset, and how does that change your life, and how can we measure your mindset and everything like that? And as I loved the work I was working on, but I just didn't like the capacity that I was boxed into. So I made a big decision, left my PhD with all of my research, and decided that I was going to take what I knew from myself and all, my own journey of becoming kind of an accomplished person and a wealthy person and achieving my goals and dreams, and then take what I had learned about cognitive science and the science of success and the science of entrepreneurship, and really use that instead of, having a bunch of published papers that only elite people get to read and know about, really use it to design something that could help people every single day to start their own journey. And so the 1-year project it started out where I woke up one day and I said, okay, what life do I want to live? Because I have everything I ever wanted, but somehow I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled. So I started a PowerPoint and I just titled it Brianna Zajicek's Life. And I filled that PowerPoint with who I wanted to be, what made me happy, the things I truly desired. And then I said to myself, well, I'm going to give myself 1 year. I'm going to give myself 1 year of just chasing what makes me happy, doing what, I really want to do, and see where that takes me. And if I don't like where I'm at in 1 year, I can always, change my approach, but I'm going to give myself 1 year of chasing my dreams, my happiness completely, and see what happens. I, went down that journey, saw amazing results, started using myself kind of as a guinea pig to test the theories, which I've, had about how all this works, and actually show that it can be turned into actions that real people can take. And then from there, I just wanted to share what I knew with other people and help them accomplish their goals and dreams as well.
So, did it take you exactly a year from the idea to the result that you wanted?
It did not. It actually happened much faster than I had anticipated. And then one thing that's interesting is that dreams change, and that was something I wasn't expecting. I was thinking like, oh, okay, here's what I want. But then over time, and it didn't even take very long, every 30 days, I would go back to that PowerPoint and make the next version. Okay. And so some things would get eliminated and some things would get added. And so, if I put, for example, a Ferrari, then I think, okay, I don't really want the Ferrari. Yes, I like fast cars, but what I really want is respect. What I really want is, to be well known in my industry. And this was just an outward token of that. And I think as I went down this 1 year path, this 1 year journey, I started becoming, having more of an intimate relationship with myself and understanding myself better. And that really helped me to get to dreams that were a little deeper than surface level and were more aligned with who I truly was.
Okay, awesome. And what was one of your biggest struggles that you faced during this process in starting the business, from idea to reality?
Sure. So there were a lot of struggles. I mean, one, I knew that I wasn't happy with my PhD and I had to quit it. Okay. And so I had to tell my husband and my family, like, hey, look, we up and moved and we changed our entire lives and we rearranged everything around what I wanted, but now I've decided I didn't want it. And so I had to just be honest and brave and do that versus suffer for the next 5 years. And then 2, I had a very fruitful business making 7 figures with a friend and partner of mine. And I had to make the decision to leave that behind and not let the financial rewards kind of trap me into waking up and having to work on something every day and deal with, different situations and people every day that I no longer wanted to deal with. And that I had to take my energy and put it somewhere more positive for me. So really working through how to leave something, especially something that has done so much for me and been so important to me and such a huge part of my success, and to leave it behind, and how to do that gracefully and how to do that ethically, and how to navigate kind of the feelings side of it and, the appearances side of it. And then from a financial standpoint to say, hey, at what point am I willing to stop taking money from something that doesn't serve me? Because, wealth is a lot deeper than finances. And so kind of looking at, making tough decisions that I didn't know what I was going to do if I just removed that large income from my life. I didn't know how my family or friends were going to react when I just gave up on something that I worked on for so long and so hard and made everyone kind of rearrange for me. But I had to just be honest and brave and take those decisions.
Okay. And How long did it take you to earn your first dollar with this new business idea that you had?
Um, that's hard to say. I would say it took maybe 2 months. And the reason being that initially I wasn't sure how I was going to monetize it
Okay.
and what people needed. So I'm a real big believer in understanding my audience and engaging with them and, knowing them intimately and knowing my competitors intimately and understanding the entire landscape before I just go out there and try to earn money.
Okay.
I think I could have probably started earning money sooner if I would have been in a position where I had to, but I was lucky enough that I didn't have to.
So what did you do when you didn't start any money? Is it because you know that money is an important part to fund your
Yeah,
dreams and
yeah.
your life?
I had to make some hard decisions. So, and that's something I'm still kind of working with because, I was in a position before where I had a lot of liquid cash and I could spend freely and travel the world and have fancy cars and fancy houses and kind of do whatever I wanted. And even though I enjoyed all of that, I was so passionate about the 1 year project that I said, okay, what if I, don't drive a 6-figure car and I take that same amount of money and I invest it into my business
Mm.
and that helps grow my legacy? That was what much more important to me. That helps me impact more people. When you have big goals like I have, I have a goal of impacting 10 million people by 2020. I have a goal of, giving a TED talk. I have a goal of, writing New York Times bestseller.
Wow.
I have a lot of big goals. I know that I need to gain momentum quickly in order to hit those targets.
Mhm.
And so there are a lot of things in my life that could be distractions. Going a month-long vacation in Europe is going to be a distraction. Keeping a 6-figure car in my garage versus taking that money and funneling it into my business is going to be a distraction. So I think once I found what it was that I wanted, I had to realign everything in my life to making the maximum input, output, and effort to achieve the results I wanted to achieve.
Okay. And where are you going in the next, let's say in 2018 and the next 3 years to come? We know that you have
Sure.
a 2020 vision. Tell us
I
about.
do have a 2020 vision.
Yeah.
I am also currently 27 years old and I want to make Forbes 30 under 30. So I don't know how that's
It's
going to
possible.
happen,
It's
but that's
possible.
that's a big goal of mine. And I've got, 2.5 years or so to figure that out. Really, what I'm trying to do at the moment is I'm establishing enough money so that I can every single month take care of my own personal needs. And then outside of that, my main goal is to spread my awareness and influence and really the knowledge that I have to as many people as possible while reinvesting any extra money I have back into the business to grow it and leave a larger legacy.
Okay, awesome. And what do you advise our fellow millennial entrepreneurs to do to start a business of their dreams?
So I think it all starts with understanding who you are. So if you aren't sure who you are and what you want, I think I've started businesses in the past because I had a cool idea. I've started businesses in the past because, oh, I know this and I know I can make money doing it. And those are okay ideas. It's okay to try them, but you have to be very careful when you're doing things you're not passionate about, because if you start making money, then it'll be hard to give it up, and it'll be like you are working for someone else, because now instead of being a slave to an employer, you're becoming a slave to your own success. So I think the biggest thing would be really just to spend some time exploring who you are, what makes you happy, what drives you, and really try to design a business around that.
Okay, awesome. And that was round one. What's the best book you've ever read, and why is that?
I have two books. I have two favorite books, and they're a tie. I love The Tipping Point, and I don't know why. It is something that represents to me like a universal principle, a universal truth. I'm really understanding how things go from good to over the top, and how things become a trend, how they go viral. just the magic science behind that's truly fascinating to me. And it tells you a lot about people's psychology, how they think and how they make decisions. And it's just been a book that I've really loved. And and that's by Malcolm Gladwell. The second book that I really like is Tuesdays with Morrie. And Tuesdays with Morrie is more of it's more of a book telling a story about an old man and a young man who become friends, and kind of just how life works and lessons. And it's just a truly moving book about what matters in life.
Okay, awesome. And what's a daily habit that contributes to your success?
I am big into journaling, and I think waking up every single day and getting a piece of paper and writing out what I want to accomplish that day and what I'm grateful for and the things I've received and what I believe in, and, checking off my morning routine and checking off my evening routine. I mean, that has done huge, forgiveness, all sorts of things that I journal about has really changed my life. I think that's the biggest habit that's changed my life.
Okay, awesome. And who are your top 3 role models?
Top 3 role models. So most of mine are entrepreneurs, just because that's who I gravitate towards. I love Lewis Howes. He is someone I look up to very much. I love the way he carries himself and how he manages to be a successful entrepreneur, who stays very humble and also, has a good mission to his messaging. 2 is I'm a big fan of Gary Vee, because, I know what it means to work hard, come from nothing, and you just go out there and you do it, and you don't overthink it. You just do it. That's all you can do. And my 3rd person is Tim Ferriss, because I think because of him, I learned the 4-hour work week. And it was interesting. But one of the biggest things I learned, because in my old business where I was making, 7 figures, I was only probably working about 4 hours a week, but I wasn't happy. So he mentions in his book, one of the things he mentions is that you're not working a 4-hour work week for the sake of a 4-hour work week. You're doing it to free your time so you can spend time doing things you love. And so I've learned that too much free time, if there's only, and if you're not using it like he uses it to go and learn, how to become the world's best dancer, the world's best this, the world's best that, time for the sake of time doesn't really do you any favors. And really it's all about having the time you want to do what you love. And if you're doing what you love in your job, then it doesn't really matter.
Okay, great. And what's the best entertainment movie you've watched so far? Something out of business, maybe.
So I have a random favorite movie, and it's terrible. I know most people are gonna think it's a terrible movie, but I love The Bourne Ultimatum. I love all the Jason Bourne movies. I've always been obsessed with them, and so yeah, I'm just kind of stick with my CIA instincts here.
Okay, great. And let's say you woke up one day, you didn't have any money, just a laptop, the internet. What would you do in the next 30 days to earn $1,000?
So I don't think it would take me 30 days. I think I could earn it within a couple of days. So I'll start with that. But the reason why is because I've spent a long time just acquiring knowledge and acquiring skills and taking courses and reading books and reading articles on anything and everything that interests me. So the biggest thing you can do if you're ever in a position where you have nothing is to either gain a skill, gain knowledge, and or look inside yourself and see what skills and knowledge you have, because we all have so much knowledge and skills. You might not be the best person at LinkedIn or resume building, but there's someone who's worse at it than you who you could charge to do that for. I might not be the best person on social media or building logos or building websites, but there's still people who I can help. So I think I would look at what skills I have and how can I quickly leverage those skills to earn money, and my knowledge as well. Yeah.
Okay, and do you have maybe a specific skill that you would use to earn those $1,000?
I mean, I know that there was a time a really long time ago before I was, as wealthy or successful, where I would just randomly go online into groups on Facebook and say, hey, for $20, I'll design you one logo in 24 hours, just things like that. And getting 100 people to do that, and boom, you've made $200 in a matter of, 30, 45 minutes. So it's all about taking what can you set up someone on a, Squarespace web page? Can you design someone's resume? Can you proofread someone's work? I mean, those are all things I would look into. And I wouldn't even have to go to like a freelancer website. I think I would just go into Facebook groups, offer it up, and see who bid.
Okay. And give us a parting piece of advice and let us know how we can connect with you.
Sure. So I think I have two pieces of advice. One is, in everything you do, just ask yourself if it brings you joy. And if it doesn't bring you joy, then try something else. So that's my first piece of advice. And my second piece of advice is to, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, start small, start simple, and really just stay consistent. And so what I mean by that is 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day of working on your business every single day is worth a lot more than working 10 hours a day twice a month. So it's better to be consistent than it is to, have ups and downs in most things.
Okay. And how can we connect with you?
So my website is briannazajicek.com. I'm on Facebook. I have a group, the 1 Year Project. Please join my group. Everyone is extended an invite. And then also on Instagram, I'm at the 1 Year, THEONE year.
Okay, awesome. Brianna
Perfect.
Zajicek, thank you for being here on the show and sharing your knowledge with us.
Yes, thank you for having me. And I hope I add some knowledge to all of your listeners and they enjoy hearing about my journey.
Sure. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. Bye-bye.